Hi everyone, welcome. I'm so glad you could spend some time with me tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun looking at some new products, and I'm going to show you some stress-free ways to keep some ways to keep your die cutting stress-free. I have 5 tips for you. I hope they'll be helpful. If you're watching on Facebook, say hi when you join on, and let me know where you're from. And if you're joining on YouTube, thank you so much for watching the video. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed the video, and I would love to hear your comments on the video as well if there's something you learned or something you'd like to learn. I'm always trying to just be helpful, so if you let me know what you'd like to know, need help with, I'm happy to try and help as best I can. Okay, let's go ahead and the first thing I have to do is find myself on my laptop, which I have now. So I'm getting that going here so I can see your comments. Otherwise I can't see them when they come in on the phone. And then let's go ahead, and I also have to get my iPad going here. And I'm not seeing people jump on. I'm hoping I'm live in the right place. Hopefully. No, that's not me. That's yesterday's video. Dang. Okay, let's see. Hello? Hello? I'm not sure I'm on the right page or that I've got everything going on the right page. It says I'm live, but no one's coming on. Oh, good. Okay, Pam, I was afraid I went live on the wrong page because that's happened before. I hadn't seen anybody pop up yet. So good evening. How are you doing tonight? Is it warm in Missouri? It is warm here, but not as hot as it's been in some places, even Colorado. All right, well, don't forget to say hi. Some of you are just coming on, so I don't know if Facebook is late getting it posted, because usually I see people right away. Hi, Cheryl. Good to see you. We'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn my phone down. I've got 3 projects tonight, and I've got lots of goodies to share with you, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Pam, you're hot in Missouri, eh? I thought I had my video pulled up on my laptop, but it was last week's video, so I need to find this one. There we go. There we go. Now I can see your comments. That's excellent. Okay, good deal. All right, let's go ahead, and I'm going to flip you down, and then you'll be able to see my workspace. And I need to push a little tool here that'll make me go upside down, so hang on for a second. Sometimes I push the wrong one. Okay, there we go. I hope everybody's had a good day today. I have just been working on my gifts for my guests coming tomorrow to my in-person not holiday open house. It's really not that. It's actually just a new catalog kickoff party. Looks like my phone is crooked. And we're going to look at the new holiday mini, but we're going to really mostly work with new celebration products, because some of them, sorry, you're going to see my hand trying to adjust my camera and trying to get things squared away. Some things are selling out of celebration, so I thought I better jump on here and we better do some looking at some of these products so you can get a good look at them and see if they're ones you think you would like. Looks like I'm doing my phone the wrong way. Hang on, let me do a little switcheroo here again. See if that's any better. It takes me a while to get adjusted. And we'll move the camera just a little bit this way and a little bit this way. Hopefully that'll be better. You can see my iPad here. Okay, let's go ahead and let me see who else is. Hi, Barb. Yay. Okay, perfect. I think we're getting everything settled. Let me pull this up just a touch more. Okay, our first card. All right, let me grab my, we'll need my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, so I'm going to pull that up really quick. I'm going to, before I do that, I'm going to, hi Shirley, this is one of the sweets we're going to look at tonight called Ringed with Nature. And let's see, have I got my stamp? Yeah, I've got my stamp here, and then we need this die. So this is one of those hybrid embossing folders. So you get all these dies, and then this one fits into the embossing folder. It takes me a minute usually to get this figured out. There we go, it goes on this side. Like this. It kind of fits into those grooves. There's some grooves right there. You can feel it lock in once you've moved it around. See, I'm kind of moving it and it's not going to move. And then you close it, and when you run it through the die cutting machine, it both cuts and embosses. So we're not going to do that part tonight. I think I actually did show that last week, or I've showed it recently. But we are going to use the embossing folder, except I already did that ahead of time too. But we will do our tip number 1 for stress-free die cutting. Now, those of you that have jumped on, I know that you're pretty seasoned stampers, so you might be thinking, I don't think that's that big of a secret. Hi, Debbie. Well, oh, thanks for sharing. Yeah, thanks for sharing, everybody. If you hit that share button, that really helps me, which I really appreciate it. Plus, it gets your name into a separate drawing from those who just comment. So if you just comment, that's wonderful too. You get a ticket in the drawing for commenting. If you share, your name goes into a different bin when I draw names, and there's usually fewer of those, so your chances are better of winning the prize. And tonight I'm giving away 3 door prizes, so it's a big night for door prizes. So I'm going to get this ready to go here, and then tip number 1, let me grab the die cutting machine. Tip number 1, and those of you that have been stamping for a while, you already know this, but what you want to do to ensure that your die doesn't move around once you've got it set where you want it to sit. Actually, this is tip 1 and 2. So I'm going to put my die and my paper down towards the end. I'm not putting it in the middle. So tip number 1 is use washi tape, or you can use a Post-it note. Like I have always had Post-it notes next to my desk too. You can grab a Post-it note and stick it down. For this, you don't really need it actually, because this die is not really close to the image. But when your die is close, cut around the image, then you will need to tape it down with washi tape or a Post-it note just to make sure it doesn't move. Tip number 2 is don't always put your, tip number 2 involves having a flat cutting surface. So this is an older embossing folder. I mean, it doesn't have they're not numbered like the new ones do, or numbered. So it's pretty old, but you probably can't see, it's going to be too close to the phone, but it's pretty straight. And the reason it's straight is because I stagger my plates when I send them through. So rather than put this all squared up like this and run it through in the middle every time like that, I'm going to put it towards one end or the other. For the sake of the video, I'm going to put it towards the lower end, and I'm staggering my die cutting plates. Okay, so you can see, oh, maybe you can't see. My acrylic plate, my top one is back further than the bulk of my plates here. So, and that's how I keep it from always going in the middle and giving all that much stress on the middle of your acrylic plates. So there's tip number 1 and tip number 2. Now, a lot of you probably at least knew tip number 1. Maybe you didn't know tip number 2 about staggering your plates. Hopefully that'll be helpful. But it's really helpful when you're doing a lot of die cutting, because it doesn't take too long for your plates to start to get warped a little bit. Okay, that's that. Let's go ahead and make this card. So this Ring with Nature card. Hang on a second, I need to get the Designer Series paper. I had my 6x6 samples out earlier and I don't know what I did with them. Of course, it's time for the video and I can't put my hands on them. But this is the paper. Now, I'm showing you this paper because this is a free gift from Stampin' Up! For Celebration. So these are the prints. I mean, they look like they're fall, but they're not all fall. Like this one is kind of springy. It's got a pink and yellow. And then this one, this paper actually, that die that I showed you will actually cut out those rings of paper, which I've already done some. This is spring. I mean, this is spring or summer. Then this could be even holiday on the back. This one are poinsettias, so I'm calling this Christmas. The back could be winter or fall, either one. And there's a blue one. I'm sorry, I don't have my 6x6 pieces. It's much neater to show you than this one. And so this is another one. I've used this one on a couple of cards. Actually, you can see I've used up most of this paper. But that's really pretty blue medallion type print. And on the back of that are these little houses in all these pretty colors. So, and here is, this is one of the prints, and then it has these gorgeous birds on the back. So I'm really excited. I was really excited about this paper. I've ordered several packs, well, with my $50 purchases. And I think this might be one that will sell out early. And we've already had our set of note cards and envelopes sell out. So I wanted to show it tonight so that to be sure that you got to look at it. And that if you were interested in it, you could get it. Hi, Martha. Oh, thanks for sharing. Diane, hi. Oh, you're fine. Kathy. Good, yay, okay, the whole gang is getting here, so that's excellent. I have in my card, by the way, if you put in an order, tonight through Saturday night, you'll get all the parts for all these cards, and they'll be prepped for you as well. If your order is $50 or more, you get everything. Okay, plus a PDF tutorial, and I'll tell you more about that in a few minutes. But I'm going to go ahead and put this guy, this is that embossing folder. I didn't have it cut the tree rings out on this because I wanted to just use it as a regular embossing folder for this card. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this on a basic white card that's cut 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4, like so. Okay, then what's this going to be a pretty easy card. Then I'm going to take this piece of designer paper and I'm going to put it on this little sheet of red. This is 2 by 4, I think. I'll check. 2 by 4. And on the tutorial that you'll get if you put in a $50 order or more, I have all the measurements listed so you'll know how to cut your paper. And if you don't have these particular stamps and dies, you can make it work for anything that you have. This is kind of a basic, pretty basic. I'm trying to find my dimensionals. I had two partially used sets out here, but of course, can I find them? No. But you could adapt this to any other stamps and dies that you own. It's a pretty easy layout. So, but if you have this one and you want to make it exactly, or you want to purchase this one, if you purchase this one, I think it's $52, I want to say, you will get a free celebration thing too. So you could get this paper if you purchase a bundle, and that's the best way to really do it. Okay, then I'm going to, I've got a little heart punched out of the punch pack, and since it says thinking of you, I'm going to kind of arrange these guys like this. And then I also cut out some leaves from the die set, so we're going to get that all going. So the way I like to do this when I'm trying to arrange my leaves is I like to put just one strip on both sides, a pretty long strip of adhesive, so I can kind of tell how to line up my dies. So this one is going to go down here. By the way, there are 2 of this die in the die set, so whoops, looks like that got bent a little bit. And so you can only run it through one. Whoops. Of course, famous last words, right? Let's do a little more adhesive so that I can kind of stick this. This one goes down like that. And then this one, we're going to have this one go up here too. Well, I have my adhesive in all the places I'm not trying to stick my dies, like this. And then we want the heart to go kind of in back like that, so it really, the greenery really shows up. So what I think I'm going to do is, I think I'm just going to stick this down right here like this, because we've got adhesive on the back of our greeting. And then I'm going to put my dimensionals to hold these guys down a little bit. So, Candy, hi! Oh, you made it for live, yay! That's exciting. I'm happy you did. Okay, so we're going to stick this guy down like so. Like that. And this is Poppy Parade. It isn't real red. I don't know if I said that. Because it's Poppy Parade in the paper. And the ink is Poppy Parade. I might have been scattered at the beginning. Who, me? Scattered? On a Facebook Live, that can't be true. And I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but if I didn't, that's what it is. It's just such beautiful paper. I like fall anyway, and even though this isn't all fall, you get some fall in it, so that makes it fun. So I'm tying just a little bow out of linen thread. Linen thread is only $5 for a whole roll of it. And I love it for projects like this that are kind of woodsy. Okay, I'm going to stick this little bow down here next to the greeting, next to the branches, and that's our first card. It's gone. And when you get your parts for your cards, they'll come with the envelope, and they'll be all in the envelope just like I opened this one. That's how they come when you put in an order and get the card kit. So that's what it looks like. Okay, there's our first one. Oh, thanks, Shirley. I'm glad you like it. And while you're looking at that one, I have another little, a couple things to show you here. These don't have anything to do with this or really die cutting as such, but every week I send out a tutorial in my emails. So if you're not on my email list, you might want to sign up for my emails so you're aware of all my events, and plus get my free tutorials. So tomorrow, I'm not sure whether it's going to, this Friday, I don't know whether it's going to be this card or this little treat. This is a little treat made with the envelope dies. So what are they called? Pocket something dies. I don't have it here with me. And then these are little drink mixes, cherry drink mixes, and I just, these are for my guests tomorrow that are coming to my in-person open house. But I might put this one out. I'm not sure. I haven't decided. But I always send one, usually on Friday, sometimes Saturday. Sometimes it's not all on the same day, but usually Friday. I try to make it work for Friday. Okay, so there's those guys. Let's move on to our next one. Before we do our next one, yeah, I know Christy's saying she's been waiting for my notice of me being on. Not sure what happened. I know, Christy, that my usual crew didn't pop up right away, so I don't know what's going on with that. Some have come on as well as you. And Pam, you got a tip from about the plates warping. Good. I'm glad that was helpful. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. Okay, so my friends, these are some door prizes I have tonight. I've got some embellishments to give away, and this is the big door prize. Now, to get the door prize tonight, the shares and the comments, your names will all go in for these two door prizes, and then I'll send those in the mail. And then I have a door prize form. I put the link in the description of the video. So this has some big bulk of 6x6 paper. It has 5 of my handmade cards. It has an embellishment. This is the big door prize, and you have to enable to get this one. You need to fill out the door prize form, so make sure you do that. It's, again, I just put it at the top of my video description, so that's how you know where to find it. And then this is so these are the things we're making tonight, and this is my tutorial. I just wanted to show you how detailed I am with my tutorials. I put the whole supply list, what I used, what the number was, and what it cost. So you have all of that in the right there, and then a step-by-step description, and also a big close-up picture of everything. So there's only this made. And it's, so if your order is $50 or more tonight or through Saturday, you will get the tutorial for these projects. And then I also partner with other demonstrators, and this time there were 30 of us that got together and put our projects together for a July tutorial bundle. These are mostly fun folds, although not all of them. And I didn't print the whole document because there are a lot of projects. There's 30 projects, but anyway, so you get that one anytime during the month with a $50 purchase. But this one only goes through Saturdays. So to get my personal tutorial of what we're making tonight, that would require an order through by Saturday using this host code. Okay, let's keep moving on. Now I'm going to show you trick number, let's see, this might be 3 and 4, both together. I'm going to try to get my wits together about the parts for this card. We're going to make a card with, I've got a lot of little parts for this card, a lot of little bits here. So I want to be careful I don't lose them. Again, this is another Celebration product. This one is called, well, that's not true. The stamps are in the mini catalog. They're called Trees for Sale. And the stamps coordinate with the dies in the Celebration catalog called Tree Lot Dies. Tree Lot Dies is what they are. And there are a lot of dies in this set. So these are all in that set. And as well as, there's some other ones, as well as all of these. So you get a ton of dies. There's some stars. There's a Charlie Brown tree. We might make one with that pretty soon. There's a puppy. There's lights and poles to make it look like a tree lot. And berries, a sign that says Trees for Sale. It's just a huge set of dies. So if you spend $100, you can get this set. And we're going to use some of these tonight. So we're going to go ahead and let's do some stamping first. I'm going to show you some tips about using this stamp set too. So this is a 2-step stamping set, meaning that you need 2 stamps to do these trees. You wouldn't have to, but they're made. You can use them either individually or together. So they have an inside, which is the detailed stamp, and then an outside, which is the, I don't know, outside stamp. Maybe I'll just call it that. It's not as detailed as the inside of the tree. And I have found with this stamp set, it actually helps to, oh, I didn't get out my garden green. Hang on, gotta grab it. Sometimes it's easier to line up 2-step stamping when you stamp the detail first, and sometimes it's actually easier when you stamp the flat surfaces first. But I have found with this die, I felt like I did better when I stamped the trees first. So what I did to have my trees line up is I put them on one block like this. Okay, and then I did this full strength. And then I lined up on top of these the flat ones like this, and stuck my, I just had the individual stamps sitting down there, and then I stuck my block on so that they'd all be lined up, and I'm doing all the trees at one time. Hi, Chris. Hi, Judy. Oh, thanks for sharing. And Barb shared. Thanks, you guys. Cheryl, you guys are the best. Okay, so now I'm going to take my garden green, and I'm going to grab some scrap paper because I don't want to make a big mess that you have to look at all night, and then nothing looks good because you're looking at it. You're looking at the projects with all these blobs of green in the background. Okay, so I'm going to use my Pierce mat because these are photopolymer stamps, and they stamp better when you stamp them on the Stampin' Pierce mat. So I'm going to just lightly sit this down. I'm pushing just a little bit because I still want some of the ink to be on it. And then I'm going to line these guys up like this, looking at the points of those trees and making sure everything's lined up pretty good. It doesn't have to be exact. There isn't really an exact way. So, and then we've got our 2 steps. I think those are such pretty stamps. First time I stamped with them, I thought, oh, this is really pretty. So we'll go ahead and die cut that. We'll set that aside because we'll send several things through the die cutting machine. Okay, now tip number 3 is actually 2 and 3 are probably going to be together. This is cardstock that I have put this on, adhesive sheets. They're 6 by 12. And so what I did was I just took out my adhesive sheets, and I kind of knew how much I needed for what I'm going to die cut. So you take these out. Of course, it won't come out because I'm trying to show you. And then I peeled, these are in sections, so they're 2-inch sections. So I put actually just a 2 by, of course I can't show you this because it's not cooperating. I cut up 2 by, these are actually 12, but I cut up 2 by 11 pieces of cardstock. And stuck them on. Dang it, come on. Goodness gracious. I think I'm at a weird angle because I'm trying to let me hold this up so I can get a hold of it. That's not helping either. Let me grab take a pick tool. I didn't have any trouble, of course, when I'm trying to do this by myself, but I get in front of you and then everything goes haywire. So you take this protective layer off, okay, and you put, or you can take it all off, depending on how much of this you want to use, because you won't need all of it. Oh, of course, good heavens. So, and then I just put my strips down, and then your card, it's going to look like this when you lift it up, and then you have the adhesive on the back like this, which we can't tell right now, but what it does is make your die cuts sticker. So that's what it does to use the adhesive sheet. And when you have really tiny dies, like some of these dies in the tree lot are so tiny. For instance, the wreath, we're going to use that actually, so we'll just get it out. So the wreath, look how tiny that is. And then we're going to also use well, we want these for the trees. And then the little bow, where's the bow? Here's the bow. And here is the banner. Look how tiny that is. So the bow and the banner are both going to be on red. I have the adhesive sheets on the back of this one too. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and run that all through. Have to grab my machine and get it back in here. I don't want to lose any of my little parts, so I'm going to put them all up here out of the way. And then we'll get the machine out and we'll die cut these. Okay, so let me grab it. The other thing, I'm showing you 2 sets of dies tonight that are in celebration. This tree lot dies are one of them. And I'm going to show you the hippest hippos too, because these are the things that I think will sell out the fastest. So we're 3 weeks into celebration. And they don't give us a warning on Celebration items when they're in low inventory. It'll just come up one day and say no longer available. Okay, so my first tip was, let's do a little review. Let's put down a little washi tape or a Post-it. And this one, I definitely want it to stay in place because I don't want my dies moving away, because then it won't die cut the way we want it to. Okay, so there's that, and then we'll do our little wreath, and then we'll also put down our bow and our banner. Okay, so we're going to run this all through. And again, I'm not going all the way up here and doing this straight on. I'm pulling this back down towards the bottom so that my plates are staggered. Running them through like that. And that probably, hopefully that cut, looks like it did cut pretty well. Okay, so there's that. We'll get our, you have to be a little bit careful with the washi tape because sometimes it does want to stick to your image and you don't want it to take any ink off of your image. So we've got those guys. Oh, one thing we forgot to run, we'll have to go back through this once. Let me get these guys out of the way. Is we have a little tiny curtain in our van. And so, whoops. Oh, this is going to be a pain. I don't really need a washi tape there, but it's getting in the way. It's clinging to where I don't want it to cling. So then I'm going to go through like this. Oops. Again, I've got this at the bottom of my plate. And now if you have a whole platform full of dies, you're cutting a whole bunch of stuff, you can certainly, then it doesn't hurt it to just go ahead and go to square everything up. This is the thing I'm telling you about. This is when you're only doing one or two things and you're going in the middle every single time. That is what warps your plates. Okay, gotta make sure I don't miss anything here. I'm going to release this guy from the die. Your take a pick tool comes in handy for this too, because there are holes in your dies. If you never noticed that, that's what those holes are, to push those little tiny things out. Or even your big dies, it's not necessarily the tiny ones. Okay. I think I can get all this out of the way for now while we get these all ready to go. The adhesive backing makes everything just a little more thick, obviously, but they come out fine. You can see those cut really clean. There was no issue with them not cutting well with our new machines. Our dies are formulated to work with our machine. So actually Celebration's a perfect time to get the new machine if you're looking for a new die cutting machine, because they cut, for the most part, they cut perfectly with our machine. Okay, so there's all of our teeny bits. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna clean my stamps just so I don't run into problems getting ink on something that I don't want ink on. Let's go ahead and make our van. So all these little bits are going to make the van. So I kind of have to think about the order for this, not this one, but the rest of this. So let's make this guy. This die cuts everything all at one time, and it cuts out the windows. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to put a piece of vellum. I think this is 1x2. I'll check it. Yeah, 1x2. And I'm just going to put some, this is the back of my piece. Doesn't have any embossing on it. I'm going to just put some glue down for that. And then we'll go ahead and put our vellum down. Like so. Now you're going to have, if you cut your piece 1 by 2 like I did, you're going to have a little bit lap over. So just take your small scissors and just trim around that so you don't have those little corners sticking out. And then you have what kind of looks like a window. I know you probably can't see too much of that on the film, but you can see some of it. So let's go ahead and attach our top and bottom of our van. So this piece, so let me show you this. So this is the part that cuts this part and this part. Come on, come on, come on. But it cuts it in 2 parts, but it's just 1 die. So if you get this, just so you know that, so you're not confused about that. Okay, let's go ahead and put our top on our van. And there's a lot of pieces to this. But they're pretty, I mean, they're easy to work with. They don't, it's pretty easy to tell what goes where. Well, sometimes I'll look at a die and say, or even a set of stamps and go, I have no idea. Mostly it's with stamps usually, what this stamp does. Okay, then I'm getting this guy lined up for the bottom of our van, like so. Then so while I'm doing this, putting this together, I would like to know, just finding all my little bits here, I would like to know what struggles you have with die cutting, or if you don't have any, that's good to know too. Okay, for this little curtain, I know it probably should have gone on the other side of the window, but I did that on my last one and I didn't feel like it showed up very well. So I'm going to put it on the outside this time, so that it shows. Okay, so there's that guy. Then I'm going to take my banner, and this is what we have the adhesive on the back of. So I'm just going to take a pick tool, and we'll get in here. See if I can get it off. Yeah, there we go. Then this guy is going to just go kind of across the top of the van to make it look festive. Like so. And then we'll take our little wreath. We're going to put our wreath around a bow in it, or I mean around a round window. And it has our adhesive too, so we'll just make sure we take that off for this little tiny wreath. This is just so cute. It's just, the trees are wonderful to have too, because these trees all have dies that coordinate on top of them. Like this one that I showed you, this is with the tree, this set, and this is just stamped off like the background like we did for this one. And then these delicate, intricate dies you can put on the top of the tree. So there's a lot of things you can do with these. Then let's grab our little tiny bow. Let's look at this. Cheryl saying on her mini die cutting machine she can't get anything to go through, and she's asking, is it too thick? Was it working, Cheryl, and now it isn't? Or you just, what's going on? Plate is already warped already. Can you guys have a... I use the gray plate with the mini die cutting machine, Cheryl. Yeah, I do. I don't use the base platform like they recommend. And it goes through much easier. Have you tried that yet? The gray plate is supposed to be used for embossing folders, but I've been using it for die cutting as well. And it goes through much easier. Okay, we're getting all our bits ready for this card. We're going to go ahead and stamp our greeting, and then we'll assemble our cards. So this greeting is in real red. Isn't that cute? It's so cute. All right, let's do, we're going to do So Very Merry. This is part of the same stamp set. Yeah. Well, if your plates are, Cheryl's saying that it was, wait, is this what I want? Yeah. She was saying that her plates were working. That's probably because they're already so warped, Cheryl. Probably that's why. So it won't get a good go at going through because the bend in the plates is making it too thick. So just take out your gray plate and try that. I know it's going to work for you. You'll be much happier with it. Otherwise, you know, you can buy replacement plates. They're in the annual catalog. But, you know, they're just going to warp again unless you take my hint about making sure you don't put the whole thing through at one time. Okay. This also is part of Celebration, so let me grab the whole thing. This, I feel like this set of paper is kind of hard to see in the catalog. It's gold. It's like has gold and silver, so you get stripes and dots. I've used mine. We're doing this on some projects tomorrow night too. But you get a whole set, you get a whole bunch of those two prints, and half are silver and half are gold, metallic. And since it's a white, I think in the catalog it doesn't show up super great. So we're going to use this today. This bottom piece is 4 by 5 1/4, and when I cut it, it looks like I needed to have changed my cutting blade. It didn't really cut it clean, so that if you have an emery board handy, you can always just use the emery board to clean up your edges if they're kind of rough. So that'll clear it up right away, and then just make sure you change your blade. I did change mine recently, so I must have cut this before. You know, I lied about how big this piece of red was. The gold speckled paper is 3 3/4 by 5, and the red is just 1/8 bigger. So the red is, what would that be, 3 7/8 by 4. Oh, it's 3 3/4. 3 7/8 by, well, whatever, 1/8. I can't think because I'm trying to get this done. Now, I usually line up my paper like this too. So it would be, normally I would cut it at 4. So it would be 3 7/8 by, why can't I get the other one? This is my greeting, and this is just on craft. This is like 1/4 by, not 1/4. I'm flustered. Okay, so this is 5/8 by 4 1/4. 5/8 by 4 1/4. But again, if you put an order, you'll get everything. Get the PDF for this. Okay, so now we want our trees to be in the background for this little guy. So let's go ahead. I think the very back one, I just glued down. I didn't use dimensional. Now I'm not going to push these down really hard until I kind of see how my tree's going to go on here. So I'm going to put this maybe up a little towards the van. Well, we got to make sure, where's our van going to go? I put up my van so that this little stabilizer for the trailer goes between the Very and the Merry. So I kind of want to make this guy go accordingly a little bit, although inside a little bit. It's going to be kind of like this. I wanted my van sitting on ground, so that's what this pieces in here for to make it look more like ground. And then this one is gonna go over here. Let's go ahead and get our van down, and then we can get our last tree in. So you want to be careful with your dimensionals that you don't put them right in the windows of the van so they don't show through the vellum. Get those all off. Okay, so there we go. And let's get this over here. Got our wheels on the dirt, so to speak. And then we'll tuck this one. This one I am going to put on a dimensional right here. Going back like this so that looks like the van's in front of the trees. Okay, that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and just put that on a piece of white cardstock. Christy is asking Pamela. Okay, Pamela's first. So she says, when there are a lot of pieces to dye, I usually don't get them. Looks like there will be too much to do. You make it look easy. I get that, Pam, because especially if they're tiny, but really it just takes practice, honestly. And if you're doing multiple cards, I think you know this. I think I've discussed it before on my Facebook Lives, but you just do all that cutting at one time, and I cut my pieces, so you saw how I had my pieces cut so that the red would all fit on that one little piece, and then I had little squares for the green, and that way you can send it all through. It's the same size as your die. So cut your pieces to go through your machine close to the same size as your die. That is something I do all the time too. Okay, and then Christy says, do you have a tip on how to easily die cut 2 images with a die you need to reverse? I don't know about that, Christy. Christy, I'll look at that set of dies. I don't have that set of dies. She's talking about the barn die on page 28. I'll look at that so that I maybe know more what you're talking about. So there's our 2. Where you're looking at those. Oh, I forgot, I've got some gems. So the other thing I forgot to tell you was if you put in a $75 order or more, you'll also get a pack of these solid faceted gems. So these are in the annual catalog, but they have some perfect colors to go with this. These cards. You get the light blues, but you've got also kind of a pool party here. And you've got the dark green. So let's put some dark green gems on this card. Let's see, how will we do this? Let's put a couple up here. There's a big one and a small one. Let's make kind of a triangle. And I'll put another big one down here. Okay? That looks nice. That added quite a bit to that card. And these are pink, so I don't think I'm going to put, although I could put the green ones on here, I think I'll wait and I'll put these pink ones on our hippo card that we're going to make now. Hi, Jackie. Oh, no problem. You're fine. You can always watch the replay because I know you're very faithful in coming and watching either the live or the replay. Okay, here is tip number... I don't know how many I've covered. I got to look at my list here. Oh, I have 2 more tips. So, when you're using an intricate die, which we are not doing on this, so I'll show you what I would do. Hang on, I just want to show you what I do. So I have to grab one of those intricate dies from the tree set. So, one of these. Let's just take the big one. This is what I do. Okay, so have you ever done one of these and you get so frustrated because all the little bits stick in all those little places? So here's my tip. So take a piece of dryer sheets, any kind of dryer, the cheaper the better. Any kind, they're your fabric softener ones, and you stick it on this and then you run it through your die cutting machine just like normal. So I'll show you. I'm gonna get my machine And then I'm going to go through it like this. Oh, by the way, has nothing to do with die cutting, but did you know that Stampin' Up! Puts numbers on each of their dies that tell you what set this goes to? So if you, with the trees, it's obvious, but sometimes if you have multiple dies out, sometimes it's kind of hard. Again, I'm staggering my plates. I don't know how much you can see in the camera. Staggering my plate. I'm never putting it through when I'm just doing one die. I'm just not putting this all lined up straight. Okay, so what this does is it puts that little bit of coating on your die so that when you, let's go ahead and die cut something so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Let me grab some cardstock. We'll make this a blue tree since it was the first thing I grabbed. Let's go ahead and run it through like this. And like this. Okay? Now once might have been enough. Can you see those bits are all falling out already? So you have no poking out. It all comes out so easily. See that? How easy that is? Okay, here's my other tip. Let me grab some glimmer paper. Another tip I have is when you're die cutting with glitter paper is usually a little thicker. So I'm just grabbing the closest glitter paper I have. So it happens to be the In Color Ombre paper. Let me get rid of all my little bits on my die cutting. Okay, here's my next tip. I need to switch my plates for this and I'll show you why. My acrylic plates. So I'm going to actually put my clear one that I don't use for die cutting because I want one that doesn't have any die cutting on it. And let's say this is hard to cut. I've actually cut this glimmer paper. Well, not this one. I cut green. So we'll see how this works. Ours cuts pretty easy, but you're going to do it upside down. So you're going to put your die down first and then and it's face up. So the cutting edge is up. It's facing up. Okay, so I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to go like, let's have the lighter edge of the cardstock go to the top of our tree, like that. Okay, now you don't, this is obviously not magnetized, but if I were cutting a lot of these, I would have cut that paper the size of the tree, and I also probably would have used the adhesive paper on that too. So usually glimmer paper is a little stiffer to cut. Lately our glimmer paper has been much easier to cut, so it works fine. But if you do that, you just turn your die upside down. Let's go ahead and poke this all out. It will cut it. The most delicate, intricate, hard to cut dies will work if you do it like that. Does that make sense? Here, let me get rid of this. And then we'll do this. Hi, Shar. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it. Last week I had the most shares of any video I've ever done, so I just really appreciate everyone sharing it. Plus it gets your name in a special drawing too. Okay, so there you go. Cut really perfectly, actually. And I grab a darker piece of cardstock so you can see it. This one, of course, doesn't go, but they both cut really well. But if you're having trouble with it, try those things. Try the dryer sheet, and then try the die facing up, and then your cardstock on top of it. Does that make sense? It'll help you, trust me. I had done more than my fair of die cutting in my time because I do craft fairs in the fall for one thing, plus for my classes I do almost all the die cutting for them. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. Oh, these tweezers, they are from my friend Kim, who's my helper. She was a surgical nurse, and when the doctors, when a tool becomes the least bit out of kilter or from what they want, then they put them in a bin and people can take them, and she brought me one. So that's not going to help you. I bought these tweezers on Amazon. They were in a group of set of 2, and they were very inexpensive too, and I like these too. I just usually grab for the others because they're taller, and I just see them faster, and I can get a hold of them. Okay, I'm going to go on to our last project, but before I do want to show you, this is our new planner that you can get for joining Stampin' Up. And joining Stampin' Up doesn't have to be scary. You don't ever really have to sell anything or do a workshop. You can just buy, you can spend $99, get $125 worth of product, and this right now through Celebration you get this beautiful planner. So I'll show you mine. I've put it all together with the months. There's stickers that go with it. There's several sheets of stickers. I haven't used those yet. I actually, in this there's a flap right here you can stick things in. This one goes through all the middle goes to 2023, December 2023. I don't have those months in here because it makes it just a little too fat. But it has this. It has 3 notebooks that you can stick. I've stuck mine in the back here. It also has, I forgot to grab the stamp set. Let me go get the stamp set. So it comes with that notebook, and then it comes with 2 more notebooks. I like to make lists, so I like using it for that. And this is a stamp set. So you plans, notes, thank you, just little fun things to put in your calendar. And I actually started mine yesterday, but I started, because it just started in July. And I started, where did I start? I started near the beginning, and I just wrote in scriptures to begin with. And this is a pen I gave out as a gift at one of my events. And it's got all the colors in it, so I thought it's going to be perfect for this planner. If you join Stampin' Up with me, I'll make sure you get one of these pens because I have more of them. So anyway, if you're interested in that, I'll put a link in the comments. Or if you want to just contact me if you want more information, then I'll be happy to help you. Okay, so here's the hippos. These are the hippest hippos. And I've got some of the dies out of this because we're going to use them tonight. I think both of these are going to sell out quickly. They will replenish the stamps because we make our own stamps, but when the dies are gone, they're gone. This is a $50 order. This is a $50 order. They're separate. And we're going to go back to our, there's a boat, there's waves, an umbrella, there's glasses for the hippo. This is a life ring, the life ring you see on boats that goes on the boat. There's little grasses, there's hearts and flowers, there's just everything in a set of dies. It's very, very super cute. So remember, we don't make our own dies. So the tree lot dies, the hippest hippo dies once they sell out, they won't be reordered. So I'm just giving you a warning about that. Okay, let's make a card with these cute things. Let's go ahead and grab. Again, if you put in $50 or more, you'll get all these parts in the mail. I'll send them to you. With $75 or more, you'll also get this. And, if you spend $50, you'll also get a celebration choice. And you also get my 30-page tutorial, or my 30 project tutorial. Okay. This is that gold paper with the dots again. I'm putting it on a pink, polished pink. Did you notice I have pink on my shirt, so I'm matching my hippo card. A polished pink contour rectangle. Now here's all my die cuts for this guy. Oh, I forgot we needed to cut one more thing. Let's get our die cutting machine back out, and then I think I can make my card. So I did this with the pool party as well. And that is for, I'll show you my card. So my card, that is for these little droplets of water. So that's why I did it individually like that. Let me grab my machine and then we'll go back through. And I need the little die for these guys. Oh, you know what? We also need we need something more for this guy. I did it for the pink too, so that's got adhesive backing on the back. We need a snorkel and some underwater what do I want to say? Those underwater goggles. That was hard, Joey. Okay, now I switched my plates out before when we were cutting upside down. So I have to go back to my beat up cutting plate needs to go on the bottom because we're going to cut these like normal. So we'll put this here, we'll put this here. Chris, thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it. And everybody remember to go up and fill out the door prize form too. And that gets your name in the drawing for the big prize, the big door prize. But I'm giving away 3 tonight. So 1 for commenting, one basket will be for commenting, 1 basket of names will be for sharing. And then everybody can also fill out the door prize form. And I'll put your names in and I'll do that. I always have Steve draw for my drawings. He's a good draw, you know, pull the name out. Pull the names out of the hat kind of guy. So there's that, and there's this guy. And then these little things, these little teardrops, I'm just going to grab a piece of cardstock because I don't want to lose these. And I'm going to poke these out because it's 1 die, but it cuts those 3 little drops of water separately. So we're just going to set those aside. So they're ready to go. And then let's go ahead and get out our pink snorkel. So, you know, normally for my Facebook Lives, I have if not all, the die cutting done. But the fact that I wanted to teach and share some ideas about die cutting tonight, I don't have them all done ahead of time. So hopefully you've got a drink. While I'm doing this, you can go grab a drink if you don't have your drink yet and come back and join us. Or if you're watching on replay, you can just hit pause and go get your drink and you're good to go. I sure appreciate you coming online with me tonight, too. I always enjoy having you and visiting with you and learning things from you. I learn things, too. Okay, let's go ahead and stamp our guy because we have to do some coloring. So we'll go ahead and stamp this guy in Memento. And then we're going to color with Smoky Slate markers. So I'm going to just ink up my stamp really well. And then I'm going to put him, I just need enough, or her, I don't know. It's pink, so maybe we've got a girl here, although I'm sure guys can like pink too. I need for my snorkel to have enough room, so I gotta make sure I get this one down far enough so we can get the snorkel in. So there's that. Then let's go ahead and we don't need to color the whole hippo because I'm going to actually use my brush tip because her lower body is going to be that feels kind of dry actually. Let's go this way. The bullet tip's actually a little bit easier to control. It's what I usually color with anyway. But I thought maybe it would save a little time to use the brush tip, but I'll just color really fast. And then I'm going to make her chest light gray too. But again, I'm not going to go all the way down. And then we'll put dark gray on the hidden face. Guess I can't talk when I'm coloring. I'm finding I have to focus. Next week, we're going to talk about layering your cards, how to figure out layers. So make sure you have your phone remind you, or mark it on your calendar so you don't miss next week. Or if there's other things that you want to see or know about that I'm not covering, oops, I didn't really mean to do that. That's not what I meant to do, but oh well. Let's see if we can blend that in with the lighter one. We'll make it look like there's a shadow above his lip. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Her. Keep calling it him. Just going to blend that all in there. It doesn't really show. Then I'm going to do the little toes here and the lighter gray. Okay, so there we've got that. I think we've got everything colored that we need to have colored. And for the little, I'm going to put them in this little tub doing the, should have put them, stamped them just a little bit higher, but that's okay. We'll go like that. That'll work all right. All right, so let's go back now to our, take your pick tool and let's get his goggles. Her, oh gosh, I guess he's just going to be a boy. So it's a boy that likes pink. We'll get the goggles on. Okay, I'm just going to put these little guys on here. Look how cute. And then the snorkel, kind of the same idea. By the way, did I say it already? I do send out, I think I said it, but I'll remind you. If you're not on my email list, I send out free tutorials most every week. Once in a while, I skip a week, but I've been pretty consistent with it for quite a while. So I'll send out a tutorial for one of a couple projects that I've been working on. Okay, put this up like this. So we've got the little snorkel coming up there. Then let's put our, this is distressed gold 12 by 12 paper. Distressed. That's why I picked it. I thought maybe the tub would look, plus there's gold in the paper, so I wanted something gold. So I'm going to put these dimensionals down here, like so. And I'm going to put this like this. Okay, so there's that. Then I'm going to put some ribbon around. Oh, I forgot a ribbon on our tree card. I'm going to have to go back and put that on. So I have been tying my bows all the way around lately. You can just cut your ribbon and just tape it on the back. You know, so cut this just the length of this piece a little bit longer and then just tape it with adhesive like that on the back. If you're struggling tying the bows all the way around, I've been doing better. Now watch tonight, I'll really struggle with it. So it goes actually a little faster to do it like this. So all right, so I've been doing it like this, but we'll see if it'll work tonight for me. I love this pool party ribbon. It's sheer pool party, but it actually looks like it has shimmer in it. It's just so pretty. It's just the ribbon itself, the fabric they use to make it with. I'm sticking my fingers in the loops and just pulling a little bit tighter and then just putzing with my bow a little bit. That looks fine. And we'll put this, we'll give it a little trim. And here as well. And we're going to put this little person like here. I think that's how my, oh, we didn't stamp the greeting. Let's stamp the greeting. So that's ready to go. And for this, I'm going to use polished pink ink. And I'm going to grab my, there are lots of cute sayings in this, but I'm going to do "You're So Hip." And I've just cut a piece of paper. This is, I think, a 1/2 inch by maybe 1.5. I'm not sure. And I flagged it. And then this I'm going to put, I want this to show down here. Oh, you know what? This bow's supposed to go over here on this side. That'll work better. And then we'll get there. That's going to be much better. Let's go ahead and grab our dimensionals for this guy. And I'll go ahead and stick it kind of behind that bow a little bit. Pretty much centered on our card. And then this is just going to tuck in here at the bottom. Yeah, just like that. Let's see, get my adhesive out. I'm gonna stick this in, just so it kind of sticks out there. Then we've got this card done. We just have to go back and put a bow on our tree card. And I did put it on a white card. I dilly-dallied around. Oh, I don't have our water drops. We can't have that. We die cut them, and I prepped them with the adhesive sheets, so we have to use them. Okay, we're going to have one. If you don't have a take your pick tool, you want one. Whoops. Turn back over. So I'm going to grab this. Take that off, and we'll have the water droplets probably would go like, let's see, I think this one will go on this side. Is that right? I'm trying to think, how would they come out of the tub? I think they'd come out like this. There we go. I think that's right. And then this tiny one. Now, you know, you could use Tombow or liquid glue, your fine tip glue pen on these if you don't want to mess around with the adhesive sheets. These are pretty tiny for even Tombow. Have that come out there. But, you know, if you have your take a pick tool, it makes it easier to handle these bitty pieces. And if you do the die cutting like I did it, well, there we go. In that you cut your pieces to the size of your die, I think you'll get along pretty well. Okay, so I'm going to get this guy coming out here. There, we needed that. Okay, now we're ready to put it on our card. Let's go ahead and grab the dimensionals again. And how they disappear, I have no idea, but they do. Oh. Have my, tomorrow night, my in-person friends are coming for the new catalog kickoff party and the buy one get one free sale. I haven't moved that online yet. That's something I will do in the future, but you have to be extremely organized with that. It's not that I'm not organized, because I'm pretty organized, but let's grab some of these pink dots. We were going to put some pink dots on. I've kind of been battling some physical things, and so some things have to go or wait and be on back order. So we could use, well, this is probably, that's dark pink, or we could use the kind of pool party, or we could use a light pink. I actually think maybe the dark pink, even though it's not polished pink, I don't know what it is. It's probably, oh, that's pretty cute. Yeah, let's go with that. I'll put one there, and then one here. I think this is Sweet Sorbet, actually. So I'm not sure. Maybe that's not the best color. What do you think? Should it be blue? I'm changing my mind now. I think maybe we should go to pool party. I didn't stick these down too hard. Usually with gems, I don't stick them down too hard, and then I can put them back on my sheet. And let's go with pool party. Yeah, I think that's better. And then a little one up here. And then maybe a bigger one down here. Like that. Aww. She's pretty cute. Then let's go back to our tree card. Let's not leave the bow off of this one. And I'll show you where I put the bow on this one. Grab my scissors. Hi, Kathy. Oh, thanks for sharing. Okay, Pam. Yeah, you just watch the replay anytime. It'll stay up. I can always choose to have it stay up 30 days or a certain amount of time. Oops, that didn't tie very well. And I always say never delete, so my videos stay up. And I'm also posting them on YouTube, my Facebook Lives, and I just upload them to YouTube, usually the night of my class, so probably tonight I'll get that done. By the way, if anybody's on and they need help ordering, just personal message me, and I will direct message me, and I will help you. I can put your order in for you. You don't have to put it in yourself. Sometimes those screens get kind of daunting and overwhelming if you're not used to looking at them. Yeah, that'll work. So that's where I put, I know I can't make a card without a bow. I guess every one of my cards has ribbon on it tonight, which is pretty typical for me. So I put that like there. But I just like the dimension that ribbon gives to it. I just think it makes it super cute. So there's our 3 cards. These are all, these dies are Celebration. These dies are a $50 purchase. These dies are a $100 purchase. This stamp set is in the catalog. So, and then this, the Ringed with Nature bundle is also in the catalog, but this paper is a Celebration. So I really wanted to cover those things tonight so that you wouldn't miss out on those things if you were interested in them, or if you they hadn't caught your attention yet, so you could see them in real time and see how they go. Okay, just let me pull you up for a minute. Thank you, Karen. I'm glad you like it. You love Miss Hippo. Oh, Debbie, thank you. I'm glad you like her. She's pretty cute. Let me click this and let me go right side up. All right, so happy. Thank you for the hearts. Oh gosh, it's always so rewarding to see those hearts start flying up there. I really, really appreciate you coming and spending time with me. I hope you got some ideas. I hope you learned some things about die cutting. Keep your plates flat by staggering them. Okay, that's first. Second, use washi tape or a Post-it note to hold them into place so they don't move when you're actually die cutting them. Number 3, run your dies, your intricate dies through with a dryer sheet first and then your cardstock. If they're still struggling, you're still struggling to get it to cut well, then you want to go ahead and turn your die right side up and then your paper on top and then your acrylic plates. You just switch where, thanks Jackie, you just switch where the card and where the die is and where the cardstock is. Usually this is your cardstock and then your die, but you're going to switch it and put your die first, cutting edge up, and then your cardstock for intricate dies. That will help you with that. Tip number 5. Oh, that was all my tips. Or use adhesive strips, use adhesive sheets. That was one of my tips too, for those small intricate dies so that you don't have to worry with the glue. Okay, my dear friends, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you'll join me next Thursday at, Wednesday on Facebook Live, or follow me on YouTube. Either one, I would love to see you. Thanks, everybody. I'm glad you learned some things. That makes me happy. I hope you did. If there's other things that would be helpful to you, that you want to know how I do things, please, please, just comment, put it in the comments. I read all the comments, or you can message me, and I'll try and help as much as I can. You're very welcome, everybody. Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye.